各位记者朋友，大家下午。
Good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. Questions, please.
AFP. Chinese National Defense Ministry said that the two high-level theater commanders had a telephone conversation. Can you share more details?
I'd refer you to competent authorities on that. Next one, please.
发言人好，新华社记者提问：在刚刚结束的中非合作。
Xinhua News Agency, at the recently concluded FOCAC Beijing Summit, China announced cooperation initiatives with Africa. Some said that when promising to provide financial support, China remains silent on the debt crisis facing African countries and their call for debt relief. During the summit, leaders of many African countries and international organizations stood against the so-called debt trap. What's your comment? Foreign Minister Wang Yi, when meeting the press after the FOCAC Beijing Summit, summed up the features of China-Africa cooperation. First, China does not interfere in China's internal affairs, but provides assistance with sincerity and good faith. Second, China caters to Africa's need and focuses on helping Africa better stand on its feet. Third, China says no to geopolitical rivalry and opposes inciting bloc confrontation or taking advantage of Africa for selfish gains. Since its inception 24 years ago, FOCAC has actually played a significant role in helping Africa develop and Africans live a better life. Under FOCAC, China and Africa have built and upgraded close to 100,000 kilometers of roads, 10,000 kilometers of railways, nearly 1,000 bridges, and 100 ports. Over the past 3 years, Chinese companies have created over 1.1 million jobs for Africa. All these help Africa remove the bottlenecks hampering development and solve the debt issue once and for all. President of South Africa, Ramaphosa, and other leaders said during the summit that Chinese investments in Africa will not push the continent into a debt trap, but were instead a part of a mutually beneficial relationship. China has never been Africa's main creditor. Statistics released by World Bank show that in Africa's sovereign external debt, 80% were held by multilateral and private creditors, whereas bilateral debt only accounts for a small proportion. Even so, China has actively helped relieve Africa's pressure of repayment through bilateral and multilateral channels, and has contributed more than anyone else in implementing the G20 DSSI. In the Action Plan 2025 to 2027, China also proposed specific measures for debt relief. Foreign Minister Wang stressed the international cooperation with Africa should be just, equal-footed, and practical. We call on the international community, especially developed countries and international financial institutions, to shoulder the responsibility and help African countries ease their debt burden and achieve sustainable development. Next one, please.
谢谢。中国日报提问。
China Daily. The 17th Paralympic Games concluded on September 8th in Paris, and China topped the Paralympic medal tables with more gold medals and more medals overall than other countries. The audience was moved by the perseverance of the Paralympic athletes. What's your comment? Congratulations to Team China for the wonderful performance yet again at the Paralympic Games. The outstanding athletic skill and sportsmanship of the Chinese Paralympic athletes truly reflect the values of the Paralympic Games: courage, determination, inspiration, and equality. What Team China accomplished is a result of the athletes' persistent, tenacious effort. It is also a vivid embodiment of the all-round progress in the cause of people with disabilities. China has successfully lifted more than 7.1 million people with disabilities in rural areas out of poverty and has established special welfare schemes covering more than 20 million people with disabilities. The living standards of the people with disabilities in China has been on the rise. Their equal right has been better protected. They now enjoy more opportunities to shine in life. The Paris Paralympic Games have concluded, but the inspiration and the excitement will last. China will continue to join hands with others to promote greater development of the cause of people with disabilities and let more people with disabilities unleash their potential and pursue their dreams on the track of their lives. Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Anything else?
谢谢路透社记者。
Reuters. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed the draft Biosecurity Act. If it is adopted, the act will restrict many Chinese companies' cooperation and business with U.S. companies. What is your comment?
坚决反对。
China firmly opposes the House of Representatives' deliberation and passage of the bill that takes discriminatory measures against Chinese companies. We urge the U.S. to discard the ideological bias, respect market principles and trade rules, stop pushing forward the bill, stop using all kinds of excuses to go after Chinese companies. We urge the U.S. to provide a fair, equitable, and non-discriminatory treatment to Chinese operations and the company's operations. China will continue to defend its legitimate and lawful rights and interests of Chinese companies and support them to safeguard its own rights and interests in accordance with law.
英报托，金砖安代会正在俄罗斯举行，背景是普京最近评论说，他希望中国、印度和巴西进行调解。中方对此有什么反应？此前意大利总理也说过，中国和印度应该进行调解，以结束乌克兰和俄罗斯的战争。那么你对此有何评论？
On the Ukraine crisis, China's position is consistent and clear-cut. We are committed to promoting talks for peace and supports all efforts conducive to peace. Looking forward, China stands ready to work with the international community to accumulate conditions for a political settlement of the crisis and play a constructive role for peace and stability.
Yes.
在金砖安代会上会否会讨论这一议题？王毅正在参加这个会议。他会否跟俄方的官员讨论这一议题？
I believe at the BRICS National Security Advisors meeting, Director Wang Yi, together with representatives of other countries, will exchange views on issues of mutual interest. As for the specifics, we will release information in due course. Please check back for updates. Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Anything else?
那好，今天的记者会到。
Then let's call it a day. Thank you for coming.